this edition of the THSBA magazine, our student correspondent, Andrew Wright, interviews one of the most inspirational professional bass fishermen on the tour today, Clay Dyer and Jake Enderman, show you what they do to prepare for a high school tournament, and then we look at our Fun and Sun Big Bass Challenge entries, all in the THSBA magazine.
We're here with Clay Dyer. He's fished many tours. What are some of the tours you've been on?
I have fished FLW, I fished bass, I fished PAA. Back when PAA was an organization, I started my career with the Bass Federation in Alabama in '97, progressed from there to the FLW to what was then the Everstarts in 2002, and then fished everything basically that FLW had till 2010, and then I came over to bass in 2012, started fishing the Opens, and trying to pursue the Elites and the Classic, obviously.
Man, I can't help but notice on your jersey here it says Philippians 4:13. What does that verse mean to you?
That verse is honestly it's my driving force in life. I was that kid that that grew up being a typical teenager, but went to church and believed in God, but didn't have that true personal relationship with Christ through faith. And when I got saved at the age of 18, that was one of the first verses that I heard, one of the first verses that jumped out. And Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." So that's been the verse that I have lived and modeled my life by whenever I face adversity, whether it's in life and fishing. I realize that through Christ, He gives me the strength to overcome whatever I may face.
Man, you've overcome a lot, but it's really impressive, your story. I mean, it's driving for people like us who love to fish and to see what you've accomplished. Now, we're approaching that time. These fish they're about to make their move up. They're going to be on brush piles, creeks. They're moving up. They're going to do their thing. And how do you approach this time of year?
The first thing I do, Andrew, when I put in the water for a tournament, I look at the water temperature and the moon phase, and obviously the frontal conditions. But main thing is water temperature and moon phase. And if it's not quite right yet from the bed, then I start out by fishing points, channel swings that are close to the spawning areas, and where the fish are going to set up on the feed up before they come in to spawn. Looking for any kind of brush, any kind of boat docks or rock they can set up on. I look for that, and while I'm fishing, I'm looking. And if I start seeing, enough activity, enough fish cruising around, enough fish making nest, I kind of let that dictate and judge, how much of that is going on, whether or not I want to commit a lot of time to it or catch them staging in, because the bed bite is if you know anything about fishing, the bed spawn bite can be amazing when it's on, but it's hit or miss that it can also leave you hanging high and dry.
Well, man, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully to talk to you soon later, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, buddy. God bless you, man. Thank you.
You too, man.
Hey y'all, my name is Jordan Stanford, and today I'll be showing y'all how I prepare for a tournament in advance. I've got about a week until my next tournament on Lake of the Pines, so I'll be showing you what I do a week before and how this helps me the day of. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, a week before the tournament, I usually like to text my captain and see what our game plan is for that day, what he's going to have tied on, what I need to have tied on, and just kind of get my mindset ready for that Saturday. And then I like to make sure that we're on the same page both with my captain and my teammates, that way we're ready to rock and roll Saturday morning. Once I hear back from what we're going to tie on and our game plan and all that sorts of stuff, I'll go through my bag, my tackle bag, and see if I have the exact required equipment or stuff similar to that instead of having to go all the way to town to buy that. Usually I like to go through my rods that I have and see if my line is in good quality, doesn't have any nicks, cuts, flares, anything that needs to be replaced. And usually for my stuff that you can see here, I like to use a Seaguar and Vizex 15-pound test strength or stronger, depending on what I'm going to be tying on, just to make sure that I'm carrying what I feel is best for myself and my setup.
Everything labeled so we can just quickly access it. Pretty much we rig up and then we put the lures we think we're probably going to use the most or more often on top. We soften them so they go in the rod locker better, and we just pull them out of the water. Another thing we like to do is just put the wristbands in the center console so we don't forget them, and we just put them on in the morning.
Thanks to Jordan and Jake, showing us that there's a ton of preparation that goes into any bass tournament, and being prepared will equal pounds at the weigh-in. We have a number of big bass entries this month in the Fun and Sun Big Bass Challenge. February is known as the time when the biggest bass in the lake show up to spawn. Our first entry is Will Emmert. Will and his partner stroke football jigs to catch some good quality largemouth on a ridge in early spring. Our second entry is from Marshall Arwine. He uses a large swim bait and catches 2 4-pounders in one cast. You'll notice that both fish literally pull the kayak he's in towards them. Finally, our winner of this month's Fun and Sun Big Bass Challenge goes to Noah Wabust, who caught a 9-pound, 12-ounce monster while practicing at Ray Roberts. Note, you don't have to have a big bass boat to catch big bass. Noah will receive a $100 Fun and Sun gift card. Marshall will receive a gift card from Academy, and Will receive a Strike King tackle pack. Once again, thanks to all our sponsors, captains, and the THSBA families. Please hit like and subscribe to THSBA Magazine. Thanks, and we'll see you on the lake.